big game is coming up and it's pretty cold for a lot of people outside. So instead of doing this at the grill today, we're gonna make some easy wings in the oven. First thing I wanna do is get my seasoning rub ready, and this is an amount for 3 pounds of wings. We're gonna start with half a teaspoon of ground black pepper, half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of granulated garlic, 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt, and half a teaspoon of smoked salt. Now this is gonna help bring a little bit of that smoky flavor that you might get from the grill, but because we're doing it in the oven, we're not gonna get that. If you don't have smoked salt, just add another half teaspoon of kosher salt. Finally, the secret ingredient, which isn't really secret anymore, people use this all the time. We're gonna add 1 tablespoon of baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder. This is gonna help the skin of the wings crisp up. I think the way it works is it does something with the pH of the skin, which helps it crisp up. And we're gonna mix this together. Now, one thing about the baking powder, and I mentioned this in a previous wing video that I did using the oven and baking powder. Sometimes in baking powder, you will have an additive that is aluminum based. Don't get that baking powder. Find one that doesn't have any aluminum based products in it, because many people are sensitive to the taste of that aluminum. I am, so just get straight baking powder, no aluminum additives. That's good. Let's get our wings over here. So here are our wings. It's a mix of flats and drummies, and we're just gonna sprinkle the seasoning over this, toss it around. That's looking good. Let's go ahead and get our wings on a tray with a rack in it, because they're gonna go in the refrigerator overnight to air dry. So here is my baking tray with a wire rack in it. This helps keep the wings up off of the bottom so they don't rest in any juice that sweats off. We're gonna try and put these skin side up. From the drummies, that can sometimes be a little difficult because that skin doesn't always wanna be right where it should be. Now we're also gonna be making a dipping sauce, but we'll be doing that tomorrow after our wings are in the oven. See if we're gonna have to do a little rearranging here to get everybody to fit. Might have to. If they touch a little bit, it's not gonna hurt anything, but try and give them as much room as possible. All right, that's looking good. This is going in the refrigerator overnight. Like I said, if you don't have overnight, try and give it at least, say, 4, 6, 8 hours. The more, the better. You just help that skin dry out more, and that's gonna help in getting crispier skin. So these are gonna chill down, and I will see you tomorrow. All right, our wings have been in the refrigerator overnight. The skin has been drying out nicely. Now the cooking process we're gonna be using is a 2-step process. We're starting out at 250 degrees in the oven. My oven is preheated to 250 degrees. After 20 minutes, I'm gonna crank the temperature up to 400 degrees. That's gonna go for anywhere from 20 to 30, 35 minutes. Really, it's when the chicken is done. Now, doneness temperature for pieces like this, like all chicken, 165 internal. Wings, the little flats, the drummies, they can go higher than that. I like to take them to 175, 185. Even above that a little bit's fine. So really you want to check your temperature with an instant read thermometer. So let's get this in the oven. While our wings are in the oven, we're going to go ahead and get our dipping sauce ready. Now I'm starting with half a cup of sour cream. To this I'm going to add a generous pinch of kosher salt. Next up, about a tablespoon of honey. I also want to add about 2 teaspoons of a spicy brown mustard. Finally, 2 tablespoons of chili garlic sauce. Chili garlic sauce is something you can find in a lot of just regular supermarkets in the Asian food section or in an Asian food market. I'm going to go ahead and mix this together. Really want to make sure that honey gets worked in. It's about the thickest of the ingredients here. Get a little taste, see if we need to adjust anything. A little bit of heat, a little bit of sweet. This is nice. All right, I'm going to cover this, pop it in the refrigerator, and it will be ready for when our wings are done. All right, here are our wings. Let's go ahead and get a temp. I think you can see that that is at 184 degrees in the drummy. That means the flat is going to be even more than that, which is perfect. Now, before we plate our wings, I want to get a little bit of that chili garlic sauce on them. So we're just going to toss them in a little bit of this. Don't need a lot. We're going to do a couple tablespoons. You don't have to do this part if you want. You can just leave the wings alone, or you could use a barbecue sauce or a wing sauce. We are just going to toss here. All right, let's plate some up. I want to get some of our dipping sauce here first. Some of our wings. I'm partial to the flats, but you know what? We'll give the drummies some love today too. That looks like an acceptable plate of wings. Let's have a taste. Now, I like the flats best, but I'm going to go for a drummy first just to be fair. And I'm going to do it without sauce. Cheers. That is a super tasty wing. Nice crispy skin, even under that sauce. That will soften it a little bit if you toss it with any sauce, but I think it's worth it. These taste terrific. Now I'm going to get one of our flats and dip it in some sauce. Cheers. Yeah, that sauce is perfect with these. This is a mixture of heat and sweet with this. The sauce is also refreshing, but this does have a kick. And that's what I wanted to do with these wings. You could totally leave out the extra spice, substitute an ingredient if you don't want chili garlic sauce. Heck, you could use barbecue sauce in this. But all of these things come together, and this is the wing I really wanted.